Hey everybody, welcome to Multidimensional Geek. I'm Dan, and today I've got my first guest on the show, my friend Ricky.
Hey, how's it going?
And we like to see a lot of movies together, and we decided we'd make a couple videos talking about the movies we've seen this summer and kind of rate them a little bit. Let's get to it. Alright, we're back here with my friend Ricky.
Hey.
We go to a movie almost every week during the summer because we like movies. We're total geeks about movies.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a few episodes about movies. We've got our first movie. We're starting kind of early because it kind of, well, I think movie season kind of starts off a little early these days during the summer. So we're starting in April with Shazam, which came out on April 5th. I don't remember the guy's name that was in it. Levi? Something Levi?
Zachary Levi.
Zachary Levi.
He was the adult Shazam. And he did a pretty good job. I liked it. I thought he did a good job as Shazam. I don't read comics myself. I just watch comic book movies. But for the DC movies, I thought that one was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I liked the fact that they used a kid superhero. I mean, a kid as a superhero. And I thought that it was a pretty good interpretation of it. The villain I thought was okay, not great, but with a lot of movies nowadays, including even some of the Marvels, the villains aren't like super great. They're just okay.
Yeah, I remember seeing Shazam on cartoons back in the 90s or maybe early 2000s. I never really knew his backstory. So I thought that when the first trailer actually dropped, I got really excited about it. It was like, wow, that's pretty cool. This might be the first DC movie that I really actually like for like the last several years.
Yeah, and I thought this was a better one. So basically,
well, it is a origin story.
Yeah, it's an origin story about how he becomes Shazam.
Shazam!
It's a boy by the name of Billy Batson.
That's right.
And he stumbles upon a wizard, you would say? Maybe a wizard?
Yeah, he's a wizard.
A wizard, and he bestows the moniker of Shazam on him. And he helps out his family.
His fellow orphan family.
In an orphanage, yeah. And it's hilarious because it's like, what would you do if you were a teenager and you got superpowers? And they do all kinds of tests.
There's all sorts of jokes that people play there.
Yeah. And they do all kinds of tests that with superpowers and things like that. And eventually the villain finds out he has the powers and
he wants to steal them for himself.
Correct, yeah. But yeah, I like Shazam. I would say maybe that one would be more like a rental if you haven't seen it yet, or if you're a really huge DC fan, I'd say go ahead and buy it.
I liked it a lot and I bought it. So.
Oh yeah, 2 stars. I thought. I mean, no, 3. Sorry, 3 stars for Shazam. 3 stars for Shazam.
And I'm pretty much right there at the same spot, 3 stars. I did buy it, which is, usually, 3 or 4 stars I would buy it. So I'll give it a 3 as well.
Okay, and our next movie on the list would be
Missing Link. That one's made by the same people that made Kubo and the Two Strings, which was one of my favorite movies the year that came out.
Yes, it was. I did like Kubo.
It's a great movie. I love the stop motion animation movies.
Missing Link has Hugh Jackman and Zach Galifianakis, who is Missing Link, and he writes a letter to him that he tries.
Yeah, the Missing Link writes a letter to the archaeologist or explorer guy.
Yeah, which is Hugh Jackman. He's the explorer, and a lot of times some of his they didn't believe it happened. Like and he's trying to get into this like I'd say maybe a country club.
Yeah, kind of like a club
Explorers
for the
club.
elite. The elite
Yeah.
Explorers Club.
Yeah, and he got the letter from Missing Link, and he went to find him, And there was Selma Hayek played a lady in it.
Yes. I don't remember her character name, but
No, yeah, I don't remember the character name, but I know she did. She was a friend of the explorers, and she went out on their little adventure, and they went out to find his family. He said that there were people like him out there, and he went out to find them.
he wasn't quite sure where, but wackiness ensues.
Yeah, and they went on a little adventure, and for a kids movie, I thought it was okay.
Yeah, I liked it too. I'd give it a 3.
Yeah, I also agree. I'd probably give it a 2, 2.5. But I thought Zach Galifianakis did a hell of a job as Missing Link, and also I liked Hugh Jackman as the Explorer. I thought it was pretty good.
Next on our list, probably one of the biggest movies of the year, Avengers Endgame. I don't even know where to start with that. I mean, it's the culmination of 10 years of Marvel movies, action-packed, lots of stories, jumps all over the place.
Yeah, even through time, a few different times.
Spoiler. What was your favorite line of the movie?
I'd have to say the very toward the end, when Captain America calls all the Avengers and he says the symbol. That was pretty cool to see him do that. I loved how they all worked together as a team, even though some of them had trust issues.
I kind of teared up a little bit when all the ladies got together.
Yeah, that was a cool moment
That was a
when
really cool
all
scene.
of the ladies of Marvel got together and they helped with the battle, and they had their moment against the villain Thanos. And but no, it was a culmination of a lot of good movies, and everybody got their moment. Everybody got their time to shine.
That's one of the best parts about the movie is they didn't let anybody, miss out on having their moment. I mean, even Drax got to do that whole thing again.
The people that came back from the snap got their moment too to shine.
They all did. So what would you rate it?
4. 4. I mean, it so far. If you want to talk about my rating of Marvel movies, it's got to be the top one so far. And I love how in some of the scenes they pass the torch to other people to continue the Marvel tradition.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what comes next with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They've set up a lot, and they've got a lot to live up to.
And the next movie, it's called Long Shot. It was had
Charlize Theron
and
Seth Rogan.
Thank you. And Seth Rogen plays a
guy that does not deserve Charlize Theron.
No, not at all. I mean, he is a writer, a political writer, and he is very liberal.
And she's a candidate for president.
Yeah, and they knew each other a long time ago, back in the day.
Yeah, she was his babysitter.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You forgot about that?
Yes, I did. I mean, that one, I did forget about that. But they meet at a party, and she was very... Oh, she needed a speechwriter to kind of make her a little more...
Likeable.
Thank you, likeable, and stuff like that. And she read some of his pieces of work online, and she asked him to be part of her political run.
Yeah. And all hell breaks loose when people decide to start trying to assassinate her. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was a fun scene. They were they had to bunker down in, was it?
I don't remember where it was at.
No, but they had to bunker down together and stuff like that. And their characters are somewhat similar, but she's more realistic than him. She sees the bigger picture, and all he sees is...
And she never ages, so she's
Yeah.
got that going for her.
Yeah. But
What? you know, Charlize Theron. I swear, she knows how to not age, just like Tom Cruise.
Yes, just like Tom Cruise. Yes, the movie was very funny. I liked it. I thought that O'Shea, he was in Straight Outta Compton.
I never saw that one.
He was his buddy, that was a Republican.
Oh yeah, his buddy.
Yeah, I thought he did a pretty good job. He was pretty funny in it, and there was a cameo from Boyz II Men in it.
That's right, Boyz II Men. That was a good scene.
Yeah. So overall, I think I'd give that one 2 stars.
2? I'd give it at least 2.5 myself.
Yeah, I think 2.5. Yeah, so 2.5 for that one.
And the next movie on our list, Ricky hasn't seen yet, so I'm just gonna be brief on this one. It's Pokémon Detective Pikachu. Ryan Reynolds plays Pikachu in the movie, and
Winston Justice was
yes,
his sidekick, so to speak.
yeah, it was Winston Justice was basically Pikachu's trainer, so to speak. Basically, actually, Pikachu's trainer disappears, it's Winston Justice's dad.
Oh, okay.
In the story, and he goes out to try to find his dad. Finds Pikachu, scouting around his dad's apartment. He's like, "What the heck? I don't need a Pokemon," because he doesn't really train Pokemon. And it's a really fun movie. We should watch it sometime.
Yeah, I'll have to catch it sometime. I'm a fan of Ryan Reynolds, so yes, that would be pretty cool. From the previews, like Dan said, I haven't seen it yet, but from the previews, it looked pretty good.
Well, and word around the internet is that Ryan Reynolds recorded so much of his off-kilter, raunchy humor while they were recording the voice that they've got enough audio to make the whole movie rated R.
That would be pretty funny.
I want to see that. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but I want to see that. Ryan Reynolds, make it happen.
And if you're not a fan of Pokemon, someone like me, how would the movie be? Would
It's
it be
still
okay?
an enjoyable movie. They set it up. They kind of explain everything about Pokemon, the basics, and yeah, it's really fun, action-packed, and it's a great story. So, I would give it a 3 myself.
All right.
And the last movie on our list for this episode is Disney's live-action adaptation of Aladdin. Aladdin was one of my favorite movies growing up. I used to be able to recite the whole movie word for word. I watched it so many times. I'm sure if we could ever, if I knew where that VHS tape was, it would probably be pretty worn out.
Yeah, and this new adaptation is the second adaptation that Disney did this year. They did Dumbo back in March, which I thought was pretty good.
I thought it was alright.
I'd say about 2 stars. Toward the end it got a little shaky, but
right.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And this one was pretty much by the book. It was very good. I thought that it did advance the story a little bit.
Yeah, it changed things up, modernized it a little bit. For the most part, I liked all the changes. The one thing, I had one quarrel with it. We talked about it right after we walked out of the theater. I says, I really was kind of upset that the Cave of Wonders, when they were at it, the mouth didn't move like it did in the cartoon. That disappointed me. I'm like, Disney, you guys are good at 3D animation. You can make a cave move.
Yeah, and I thought that, yeah, I agree with you there, but I mean, it's a tiny little thing.
It is a tiny little
thing. But for those of you wondering, yes, Will Smith did a great job as the Genie.
I thought the way he went from being blue to being his natural skin tone actually was kind of cool, and they kind of explained it, throughout the movie, that when that's how he just disguises himself to blend in.
And he himself has a little bit of a, would you say, romantic?
They added a romantic story arc to the Genie.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was well deserving of the Genie. instead of him just flying off at the end like he did in the cartoon and leaving everybody behind, he actually had a happy ending himself.
Yeah, and I would not be shocked if they made a sequel to this. It was pretty good. I liked it. I thought the actors that played the Aladdin and Jasmine did a good job. I thought they were pretty good.
I liked them as well.
And Jafar was a good villain.
If they do make a sequel, I honestly hope they don't make Return of Jafar. Jafar was kind of the dud out of the 3 original Aladdin movies. I think the Aladdin and the King of Thieves would be a better one. Just skip Return of Jafar. It's kind of a dud. Go straight to the King of Thieves, where he finds out that his father's alive. Spoiler for a 20-year-old movie.
Yeah,
longer.
I myself would like it to be a little bit different myself.
Or a new story altogether.
I would like you can maybe leave Aladdin and Jasmine in it, but I'd like to see maybe another poor boy find the lamp and Jafar kind of use his powers of villainy to maybe turn that kid into
the villain of the movie.
Yeah, and then Aladdin and Jasmine could be there, and they're running things, and Jafar, the new character, finds a way to try to overthrow Jasmine and Aladdin.
That's an interesting idea. I hadn't even thought of that. So, what would you rate this one?
3.5. Good.
3.5?
Obviously, buy it. I'm gonna buy it when it comes out.
I'd go 3.5 myself. I already bought it. I pre-ordered it. Is it out? I can't remember if it's out, but I already bought it. All right. In summary, Shazam, we both gave a 3. Missing Link, Ricky gave it a 2.5. I gave it a 3. Avengers Endgame. I'm skipping ahead here. Endgame, we both gave a 4. Long Shot, we both gave it a 2.5. Detective Pikachu, he hasn't seen, but I gave it a 3. And Aladdin, we both gave a 3.5. That'll wrap things up for this episode. We've got 12 more movies we're going to review over 2 more episodes. I want to thank Ricky for joining me today.
Yeah, it was
a lot of fun.
It was fun. I enjoyed talking about movies.
Yeah, movies are awesome. They're geeky, and that's part of what my channel's about. It's just being a geek. So if you liked the video, go ahead and hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you're not already, and leave a comment down below. And as always, make your life more interesting by keeping it multidimensional. Catch you later.